Hey guys, how's it going? Love ya, and hope you're doing well. And I wanted to talk about something that I think about occasionally, which is sports. And I think ever since I was young, I used to think like, if if teams, they trade players, they draft players, and they they can do so many little tricks to try to make their team better and get a different coach and all things. You could a lot of people who watch, you could switch out all of the players, anybody who's involved in the organization, coaches, whatever, trainer, yeah, whatever, anybody involved in the organization, and just put them on a different team, and it wouldn't really make any difference. It's not. Those people can be moved at any point. And what I'm saying is, it wouldn't make a difference in terms of people would still just root for their team. There's no, in my opinion, there's no meaning behind it unless there's actually people from that area. So to me, what would be interesting is if they had like a league of whatever sport, or maybe multiple different sports or whatever, where you could only use people from that area, or like the majority of your team had to be from that area or something like that. Because to me, that's really something to be kind of like, I don't know, proud of, but in support of, your area, and where people who grew up in the same vicinity as you, because you could have a team, and it's even, they could even be from a different country, often in like European soccer leagues, football. um, if you're if a British team and 80% of your players are from Brazil, it's like, let's just say, Liverpool or something, right? It's like, go Liverpool. It's like, we're like, no, go Sao Paulo, go Rio de Janeiro, because uh, a lot of the players are from like those cities. It's not. I think it's a little strange. I'm not saying that it's wrong or anything. It's just it's hard for me to get behind that. Um, and there's nothing, like, everything about a team could change in a generation. It could be a completely different team, and people just supporting other people trying to do their job as best they can, who just happen to be employed at this one spot. It seems, I don't know, not logical. If I if there's like in America, a lot of high schools have sports, and so like, they'll have like regional championships, then state championships, and then national championships. So if someone from my region or state, because my state's not like super huge, um, if someone from my state is running in the cross country race, now I don't watch these, but I'm just saying, if I did, um, then I would be like super psyched and be like happy for the person who's from my state. Similarly, like the female UFC champion right now, for 125 or 35, I forgot. But her name is Rose Namajunas, and she is from Milwaukee, just pretty close to where I'm from. And so I am really happy when she fights, and I feel better when she wins and things like this. And we used to have a champion, Anthony Pettis, and it was one of the biggest, the loudest I've ever heard a crowd in a restaurant around the southeastern Wisconsin area. When Anthony Pettis won the championship. And so I think it's, to me, much more meaningful, and it has something behind it. And with sports teams, it's kind of like, yeah, they you just pick this random, not necessarily random, but like this group of people who happen to be employed at a certain place, and like people pick teams that aren't even where they're from and support them. And often times when I ask why, people don't really have a reason for. It'll be like, oh, because my uncle liked this team or something. It's like, okay. I like also when there's like some sort of contribution. So they had this American Football League where the viewers could vote on certain plays. So if anybody doesn't know how American football works, it's like they'll run the ball, they'll try to run it to the end, and then when they get taken down, the play stops, and they try again. They get a few tries, and before they have to cross a line before a certain amount of tries. And anyway, sometimes the players would get to pick through like voting, texting, what they thought the play should be. And I thought, so it didn't work out well because a lot of times the people would just vote for the craziest play. But I like the idea, and I think it's something to work with and explore. And I think there's a big opportunity there also to kind of make maybe some sort of membership you pay, and then you can have an influence over maybe not the entire decision, but have like a percentage decision over which players get selected, which maybe a coach, trainers, or these kind of things, like a voting system, and possibly types of plays to use. I think I had some other ideas, but I think there's definitely some to make it much more where to a point where the supporters could actually make a difference in terms of if a team wins or not. I think it could be really cool, and it would certainly make it a bigger thing if. Let's just say this. Have those ideas. It's okay. There's one city, and at least half the players have to be from that city, and if you win, everybody puts money in. You get a membership. You can vote on certain players, or certain players selections, and coach selection, and things like this. And if your team wins, like each game that you win, you get a certain amount of money, and so it's actually like you're making an investment, and you're actually getting some rewards for putting in and being thoughtful and trying to make your team the best you can through some input that you have. To me, that's like a real something to root for. That's something to really get excited about. So I don't know. Maybe something like that will happen. I did like that. I already saw the implementation, like I said, of those plays, and hopefully in the future it'll be more like that. Maybe I should buy a sports team No, it would have to be a league that would function like that, I think. To have like a pool where everybody has like a certain amount of money in, and then that gives you the right to vote on decisions. And then if you make, good decisions, you increase your likelihood of your team winning, and you're getting some outcome, some financial gain from that. I think it'd be quite cool. And I think you could keep it like a low. Try to keep it low, maybe as low as like $10 or something, or $100. I don't know. But yeah, so I'd be curious to hear what other people think about this. And I think there's a lot more to explore in terms of that type of idea, in terms of, maybe trying to incorporate uh, really building up a system to winning. And maybe the areas with like higher population density, where they have more players to choose from, would have to pay in more, and the players without as many, so that it would be more equal, because maybe they have an advantage. So you weigh the risk and reward. Because maybe the bigger cities would win more often, but if you would get a bigger payout if you're paying for membership of the smaller teams. Something like this. Maybe the pot could come from partially from ad sales, or something like that. I think Dota, they have the prize pool. It's like a quarter of the sales from that they get for the year. It goes into the prize pool for the championship. Could be something along those lines. Or divided up for smaller amounts for each game, and then a large amount for the championship, stuff like that. I would certainly be very interested in something like that, and maybe certain positions would get more sway. Maybe if you put in a lot of money, you'd get more sway, but you could still have some voice. If maybe different tiers, levels of payment, and how much, or maybe it could just be done by buying more memberships or something. Maybe you'd have to put a limit on how many memberships someone could have control of, or whatever. I think there's a lot of things that could be cool to incorporate fans more and make it more truly of a fan, and fans incorporated in whether a team wins or loses, and getting also some benefit for if they do win. Yeah. So I'd really be curious to hear what other people think about this. I think it's a great idea, and I think it would be definitely implementable. So yeah, thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe if you want, and let me know. Have a good one.